We dating, right? And I ask you for money and you say you don't have it. Then should I ask your friends?
Every day we come on here and we have dumber and dumber takes. Subscribe, let's talk about it.
We dating, right? And I ask you for money and you say you don't have it. Then should I ask your friends?
So just play that out. If we're dating and I ask you for sex and you don't give it to me, can I ask your friend? We're not using our brain right here, right? We're just thinking that this is cool. It's a cool take. It's a cool thing to say. And we just put it out there. And we know we try to have some sort of responsibility in what we sort of post and what we put out there, because it ends up being part of the collective consciousness inflection and reflection of us as a people. It's not fair. It's not how it should be, but this is kind of what it is. So we push back when we see stuff like this, right? When we make things that it's just a transactional sort of nature of relationships, then you cannot be surprised by the nature of the transaction. When we just say, can we skip to the good part? If you're telling me that because we're dating, you simply have the ability to ask me for money at any time that you deem fit, okay, what am I buying? What am I buying here? Because that's essentially what you're saying. Here's an exchange for this. We can dispense with all the pretense and just call it this what it is. You want to be prostitutes, but you don't understand that you're talking just like one. But listen, before we continue, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss new uploads. We got a live coming up this Sunday at 7. You can start seeing the links pop up for that. So I'm hoping to see some of you get some new faces in there. For those that always show up, I appreciate you guys. I'm gonna make sure I remind you guys that again and again. Membership is it's open. We're gonna do more and more private videos just for members. A little thank you. So is the live. So is the live. So a little thank you for the subscribers. So listen, we got merch. So hype the video, share the video. So listen, when we see stuff like this, and you know I'm a proponent of, you got to push back on it. You see these dumb, quick little takes. And again, on one hand, you want to do it because it's rage bait. It's clickbait. You think you say something like this and people are just going to be like, oh my God, in the comment section, trying to flame you. And that's just good attention. On one hand, that's fine. That's how the internet works. That's how social media, you go viral. That's how you get attention. Okay, but understand what that attention, the cost of that attention. You may not directly pay that, but when the image of a Black woman is continuously eroded by these takes, because again, you may realize this is just clickbait for you, this is rage bait, but how many people see this, internalize this, and push it forward? And this becomes their reality. This becomes their personality. My sister was just sharing a little screenshot with her friends that was trying to talk to this young lady, and she said, send me $45 for lunch. It's like, we just met. Hey, this is the normal course of behavior, because you see it all the time. You open up your phone, and what could be more personal than something just inches away from you that you constantly can pick up and reference? You constantly staring at that screen. You build this personal relationship with what's on your phone and what you consume. So you don't realize parts of your personality were picked up from this influencer, this influencer, this person. Even the celebrities that you admire so much, they're out there saying the same things. And if Taraji P. Henson is saying it, if Nia Long is saying it, if Meg is saying it, then it's got to be real for me. So I now, because I haven't done enough of the work, or I don't have enough of a strong personality to say, no, I'm going to make my own decisions, I internalize it. So I say something dumb like this. I say something dumb like, yo, if we're dating and I ask you for money, can I just ask your friend? Okay, you can ask my friend, absolutely. And when he gives it to you, I hope you sleep with him. But when you ask my friend for money, yo, we're done. Here's the boundaries. You play games like this, you're going to get that reward. I will happily cut you off. And a lot of men, we're very good for that, especially when you start going to the high echelons of things. And I get it. When you're young, you're dealing with people that are young, ideally, right? You're in a relationship with a young man who's trying to work and trying to get their things together. To think, and this is from the male's point of view, to think that we were simply put on this planet to serve you, to give you what you want when you want it, whenever you deem it necessary. We're not. And I'm very, very, very happy that it seems like, Gen Z and beyond, they're understanding that if we're going to lean into the transactional nature of this game, you're going to lose every time, because money is only used to solve problems. And if the problem is trying to get your attention, it's like I said on other videos, as long as there's a price, it's cheap. The thing that the way we used to look at you, the way we used to value what you had, who you are, your intimacy, your intimate parts, it was of the highest honor, the highest value. Now it's cheap. Now it has a price tag. Anything that you put that was once deemed as priceless and has a price tag now is cheap. You went from incredibly priceless that we can't put a price. Now we got a price. Now we got arrangements. Now we got understanding. Okay, if I have the money, I don't even really have to spend on you. I just have to flaunt it. I just have to be around you. I have to be in the right spots. That's all it needs to get your attention. And once I get your attention, given enough time, spend enough money on maybe a restaurant experience, and then I've got you. A thing that used to be priceless, I can put a dollar amount on that. This is not where we want to be, but when you keep making takes like this, where it's just about money, we keep pressing and pushing and think that this is what it is. Okay, fine. I don't think women understand that you're going to ultimately be the loser in these scenarios. On one hand, we like to insulate you by saying that, hey, you're making more money, you got the degrees, you're doing all this, you're doing so much better, you're closing the gap, many-ish. Okay. But you're lonelier, you're using more antipsychotics, antidepressants. When we don't look at these things and call it what it is, when we're talking about female loneliness or female mental health, we don't talk about that. We know you're unstable, but we don't talk about it. Takes like this contribute to that nonsense. When you're just you can't get the thing that you want. You think that you don't see a value in men, it's just about money. Okay, when all men now degrade their effort to that level of just spending. Okay. So if you're with me and you ask me for money, I say no, you tell my boy, hey, can you give it to me? I'm going to look at him. I'm going to give him a nod. Go for it. Go for it. I don't feel like I lost anything. If it costs me money to find out who you are early on, it's cheap. It's cheap. Thinking about what a lifetime of you would have potentially cost, and I found out for a couple $100 today, it's cheap. And I'm always going to be happy for someone that's going to save me time. That's the way a lot of men, when you get to this level, they start looking at that. Please tell me, say things that's going to help you exit out of the building. We like to talk about how many times men talk themselves out of sex. We never talk about how many times women talk themselves out of relationships, talk themselves out of sex, talk themselves out of an experience. That's why I'm a big advocate. Listen, look at all this, let them talk, and then use that to sort of discern who should be in your purview, who should be in your circle, who should be around you at any given time. Constantly prune, constantly cut, constantly chop off, and do it with love, do it with indifference. Just say, hey, I wish you the best. I don't got to explain. I don't got to chase you down. I don't run any of this down. I don't need this so-called closure. Let you talk yourself out of being with me. I'm fine with that. Please, happily. And I wish more men would pick up that sort of attitude that when women talk like this, when you talk about money, 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 all you're doing is telling me how cheap you are. But if you disagree, let me know down in the comments below. If you see other videos on the screen, check those out. Let me know your thoughts about those in those videos. And of course, if you listen to my voice now, you have not subscribed, I think you should. I'm just trying to build something dope. I'll see you in the next one.